Hello, and this is update number 18. And boy, what an hour it's been. In this update, I want to go through two things that has been on my mind the last hour, or popped up during the last hour, because I've been continuing building the next Lego set, and during that time I have been deep thinking, and that's the first thing I want to go over, because throughout my life I have always been a deep thinker, always thought every angle and every possible outcome of something that I put my mind to. And when things happen, I analyze them thoroughly, unless it has been something that has been so traumatic that my mind has suppressed my ability to analyze it afterwards, because it has been too traumatizing for me to handle. So my subconscious have defended me by suppressing it or masking it by calling it something else to mask the true fact of what it was. But what I have been called many times over the years is an overthinker, that I overanalyze everything and that I overthink everything. But that's not really the whole truth. Yes, I think extremely much about everything, because I am a deep thinker that analyzes everything, because that's the way I have been able to handle everything that has ever happened to me and get over stuff. All the things I am over by now, which I will point out when I talk about them. So, if you're watching this and you meet me in the future, or if you are watching this and you already know me, then please keep this in mind when I talk about stuff that happens forward with you, that I don't overthink things. I thoroughly analyze things so I can get the best outcome of it, so I can see the positive side of it, so I can learn the lessons I need to learn from it. And the only way I can do that is by really sitting down and over go through it, see it from different points of views, and so I can extract everything I need from the thing and move on from it. So please, in the future, refrain from calling me an overthinker or overanalyzer, because the amount of so-called overthinking or overanalyzing is the strength I have, that it gives me the power I have to process and to endure everything that life has thrown at me. Thank you. And on to the second part, that is kind of interesting and fascinating to me, because that's one of the things I like most about deep thinking about my past, is that I still to this day, because I'm older now, I have more experience, I see things that I didn't see before. And one of the things that I have noticed, or more that I've realized during my deep thinking for the past month or two, when I've really delved into my past, because when my ex broke up with me and my whole reality fell apart, because basically what happened was she decided to leave me, which was her choice, and in my mind afterwards she made the right choice, and I respect her for making that choice. What happened was I had no source of income at that moment, so I couldn't stay at the farm we had moved to, and which we decided that were gonna be the forever home. That hasn't changed for me, because I am fortunate enough to be on the side of our families that owns that farm, because it's my dad's farm, which he inherited and bought out his siblings from my grandfather. And I'm gonna be the third generation on that farm. That is a decision I made after moving there, and that decision has not changed, even if I have been forced to move back to my apartment. I have plans and have been in talks with my dad that I'm gonna continue to build up that farm, and when I'm ready to move back, I will move back. And that day, after that day, I will never leave that farm. That will be my forever home. But everything that happened, basically, it left me at ground zero. And I've been doing a lot of work on myself. And thanks to that work, and thanks to all the things I've realized during that month of work, that my subconscious finally thought it was time for me. I was ready now to handle my entire past and everything that I've been repressing for my entire life. It's been extremely stressful to handle that, on top of everything that's happened outside of that, with living with my ex while she got situated in her new home, because I'm a person who would not kick out anybody, no matter what. So even if she left me, I wouldn't kick her out, and I didn't. She needed about a month to move in the end, and that was what she got. And in the meantime, I just waited and slowly got my things in order. But I spent most of the time in deep thinking. And the fascinating part that has popped up from my subconscious this hour is that my entire life, everything has been like a bipolar disorder. And how I have now recognized it as is inside me there are two parts. My darkness, which is what has been my darkness, is what my past traumas and what people have done to me has birthed and sustained my darkness, but on the other hand, is the light inside me. And why I call it darkness and light now is because I realized I have 2 confirmations from ex-girlfriends. I've been in 4 relationships in my life where I have felt like I could spend the rest of my life with that partner. And 2 of them I have been the main, or basically the only source of bad in the relationship. And the other 2, it's been mutual. And it's ended with them doing me wrong by treating me like I don't matter. I will go into detail what those 2 relationships, what happened in them in the Lotus Chronicles further on, but what I will say about it right now is that the first relationship where the girlfriend made me wrong, or did me wrong, I asked her afterwards, because as I said, it was mutual destructive. I made several grave mistakes towards her in that relationship. And I take full accountability of how bad I was in that relationship. I do not blame it on anything, even if my past traumas have been highly contributing to, and my diagnosis, and a lot of things. That's the underlying reason why I did the things that I did wrong. Doesn't take away the fact that I made the choice to do those things, and I take full responsibility for that. But I asked her afterwards, why did you stay so long? Because it was several years long relationship. I asked her, why did you stay as long, even though I treated you as badly as I did? And she was completely honest with me. And she said to me that the reason why she stayed through all the bad was that when the other side of me was present and was in the front and in control, I was such a fantastic and wonderful partner that she said that it was worth all the pain and suffering that my darkness brought to the relationship. My light, my true self is so wonderful that she stayed through several years of mistreatment because it was worth it to have those periods of where my true self was in control. And the second proof I have for my reasoning in how I see my darkness and my light now, and my bipolar disorder, is my latest ex told me afterwards, after she broke up with me, and I asked her, I don't remember exactly what I asked her, but it was something about the first time she met me, what she thought about me or something like that, but I vividly remember what she said to me, the answer. She said that when she walked in and met me for the first time, she said she didn't see me. She didn't remember a thing, basically, from that interaction, which was like 10 minutes long, so it wasn't much, but she doesn't really remember what happened, because all she can remember seeing was such a bright light coming from me, emanating from my entire being, that it blinded her. And when I have two ex-girlfriends, which both have seen my worst, my true darkness, and have been hurt and highly affected by my darkness, saw my true self and said, this is the best partner I could possibly find. And if I can get to a point where I am in full control over my darkness, always, never wavering, then I am ready to really receive everything that I am dreaming about with my future partner and my future family. Because throughout my life, I've been realizing now that in periods I have had both wonderful friends, and I have had periods where many girls have shown true interest in me and have admitted it. Friends that I have had that never went anywhere have told me afterwards that they had crushes on me while we were friends. And my ex-girlfriend, who told me that my light was worth my darkness, she was an old schoolmate of mine. That's off a year after, I think half a year or a year after we ended that period of our school life, so we parted ways. She found me on the internet and confessed to me over private messaging that she had had a crush on me since school. And that was when we started dating. So I've had women have crushes on me my entire life, and I've realized that now. I've had a real manly man moment. Most men can relate to me when I say this. I've had those after years. Oh damn, she wanted me moments. I've had so many of those the past weeks and months that it's getting ridiculous. And that proves to me that I am worth it if I can control my darkness and never let that darkness take a hold of me again. Because my light is burning so bright that I will not even have to try. I might sound a bit arrogant and cocky right now, but for a man that has spent a life being used as a doormat for the most part of his life, to be able to really feel that inside of me, that I am such a great person when I put my A game on, is to me a fucking awesome transformation. So I'm not ashamed of saying that I know I'm not gonna have any trouble finding my dream partner, because I know now how truly my life has been. I no longer hide from myself and lie to myself anymore about not seeing all the good parts too, which I have been suppressing, or my darkness have been suppressing to keep a hold of me. Because if my light would have seen those moments and remembered them like I do now, my darkness would have never gotten a hold of me ever. But I was too blind by my darkness. I was blindfolded by my darkness. And this is getting really long now, so I'm gonna digress and say, I will do great. And I'll see you in the next update. Bye for now.